Okay, time for another wacky and random video about nothing. This is Elaeagnus pungens here, and it's a border shrub on one of my properties that I look after, and it's shared with a common area off to my right, a little park for the neighborhood, the community that I'm in presently. So Elaeagnus pungens, it puts out a little fruit. The pungent species is okay. This is probably Philippinensis and Elaeagnus here, and this puts out a real tasty little berry that I enjoy when it comes on board in the fall. Likewise, a good, easily formed shrub, and used as such in the area in landscaping here. And it can get out of hand too. This is a whole bunch of that Philippinensis there. And right here is a green form of buttonwood, and that's been allowed to turn into a big tree. And you can see a little gumbo limbo branch sticking its head out in and amongst the green buttonwood, which this is Conocarpus erectus. The silverthorn of this species is quite popular in the landscaping industry. It's very salt tolerant, as is this species here. So it's a good choice for on the beach side, which is where I am presently. Now again, being that this is a common area, there's a lot of crap that settles in here from where the birds drop seeds, and seeds grow into monsters, and this is a good example of it. This had up until recently been sold as an ornamental in the nursery trade, and it's subsequently been taken out because it's a menacious vermin. I mean, this thing is just terrible. This is a carrotwood tree. It's pretty, it's an attractive tree, but it just spreads like vermin. It's just absolutely a nuisance. It goes out into the swamps and the Everglades, and it just really takes over. This is Campaniopsis anacardioides, for those watching the show in Latin. And yeah, they just volunteer like mad. There's another seedling right there, another one coming in there. And on that subject of vermin, this is a good one. This is the pepper tree, or Florida holly, which I don't think there should be any pleasant casual nomenclature ascribed to these things. I think this should just be called the rat tree. This is Shynus terebinthifolia, and in more Mediterranean climates, the Shynus genus is actually it produces some nice specimens, so it's a shame this thing has to be such a nuisance in Florida. And actually in its native environment, I think in Brazil, this terebinthifolia, or the pepper tree, is rather well behaved, but here in Florida the competition markers aren't here, and things aren't here to predate, so it just goes all crazy. This is another invasive exotic here, but it's kind of pretty, and that's just lantana. And bad thing about this is it gets out in the cow pastures, and it is mildly toxic to the little bovines out there, the little moo-moos. And one last weed, since I've digressed from ornamentals to weeds here. This is Virginia creeper, Parthenocissus quinquefolia, and this thing is just a real nuisance here. It just gets all up in the shrubbery, and it's a vine. It's invitaceous, so it's distant relative of the grape, and you can actually eat the fruit that comes off this. I wouldn't call it choice, but anyway, people do eat it. So there's a quick primer on life in the fringe and border of two properties, and you can see it's just going mad. And there's a big fat gumbo limbo there. And there's another form of cissus, not related as much to the Parthenocissus, but all these little air roots coming down is another really nasty invasive vine that's just, it's like lice. It's really hard to get rid of. So that's a cissus of some kind. I'm not sure the species, but while I've got this running, that's your cissus. So anyway, that's enough of that.